2, 1, and we are live. Guys, welcome to the Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. My name is Jay Angel, and it's my distinct honor to introduce Bob and Casey Mehsikomer. Everybody knows Bob. Bob, 40 years on television, Simply Fishing, Hall of Famer fishing, guy with thousands of muskies over 50 inches, and now he has his better half, Casey Mehsikomer. Welcome to the fishing world, Casey. We're glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we are glad to be here. We got some danger in the house, though. We got a young new driver. She got her driver's permit.
Lots of sleepless nights there, man.
Oh boy.
I just ordered some driver stickers.
Oh boy, no doubt
Wait
about
for my
that.
daughter to come home and she's driving, or she's out with some guy.
Was that intentional?
Yeah. I made sure he saw the deer heads on the wall,
That's pretty good.
You'd be no problem there, buddy. Okay, but I didn't do this to talk about our daughters. I did this to talk about Bob has a unique concept. I guess it's not unique, but man, it's so exciting, this concept that you have going with the team fishing circuit. Bob, would you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Yeah, Casey and I, we do think it's unique for a number of different reasons, okay? If we were to take a look at the tournaments themselves, okay? I mean, this is what it's all about for us. It's about people being able to go fishing, pay an entry fee, have a shot on a level playing ground, and come away with a pretty big paycheck. Our tournaments are structured where there's $850 entry fees. So yes, in our minds, $850 isn't breaking the bank because it's split by two people. It's not a singular deal. So that being said, plan ahead. If you're going to fish the event, let's face it, there's bar tabs that are $450 on a weekend. So $450 or $425, again, is $850 total, and you're fishing as a team. That's a critical part of it. I'm going to let Casey talk about that just for a bit.
It's 1 pound minimum unlimited catch, which is really exciting. And you have an in-boat official. Just imagine you and your buddy, you and your wife, you and your kiddo, just out for the day fishing and possibly making a big paycheck. Our in-boat officials are amazing, and it's catch and release. So, we're not, taking those fish out of the element. So that's pretty cool. Another question that we get asked, though, is,
may I interrupt you for a second?
Alone?
Could you please explain what you mean by catch and release?
Yeah, and before we do that, can we do something real quick, Jay? This is something we've never done before. Folks, our phone lines are open right now. You can call the show and talk to us live right here on the show tonight at
952-999-0784.
So if you call in, we'll welcome you folks into the show to discuss exactly what we're talking about. A lot of questions out there. Go ahead, Jay. Pose that question one more time.
Okay, could you please explain what you mean by catch and release?
Oh, absolutely. You want me to take it?
Well, I will take this one, Bob.
Right.
I got it. So we have come across this great app by a friend of ours here in Minnesota, Mike. What's his name?
Bonema.
I never say it correctly, sorry. And he came up with the Real Live Well app. And so this app, they download it on their phone. And every fish that comes in is captured on with a picture. Then they weigh it, and then it's released. And what's cool is people at home, anybody in the world has access to this app. They can watch and see where everybody is on the leaderboard. It's really exciting. And the anglers in the boat also know where they stand on qualifying days. They don't know it. We do turn the feature off for them on Top Gun Championship Day. But they do get to see it the other days. So they said it's very exciting to know, oh my gosh, we're in second. Oh my gosh, we're in third. Let's go. So it's kind of neat for them to know about that. But yeah, catch and release. So it's a 1 pound minimum, unlimited catch. Get as many as you want. Some go after the small ones. Some people go after the big ones. one in the boat on the front will do this, one in the back will go that. They said it's a blast. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, well, how about if you don't have cell service? What do you do then? Well, we've got that under control too, because our app is capable, or I should say Scott's app is capable of maintaining all that information, and it's doing it in a form of RAM. So what happens is that information, let's say, for instance, you're in a dead zone, okay? And you don't need to be fearful because all that information is being calculated, tabulated, and when you get back to phone service again, it automatically dumps into headquarters.
And you actually get to see a picture of the fish too, the angler holding the fish. So it's not just knowing where they're at, you get to see the fish they're catching. So although we don't have a weigh-in at the end of the event, it's kind of exciting throughout the whole thing. You get to follow along and see those photos. So it's a pretty magnificent app that he has come up with.
It really is. It's a pretty neat deal. If you take a look at our show trailer, when we're on location and we've got the show trailer up, there's 7 big monitors on that trailer, and some of them are streaming live the information that we're talking about. So consequently, that being said, that gives everybody an opportunity to follow what's going on, and that's important to us.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I like that. So you're going by total inches or total pounds?
Total pounds. It's a no limit catch, 1 pound away. So it changes the dynamic of a tournament. Period.
Sure does.
In the old days, everybody was a 5 fish bag limit or a box limit, whatever you want to call it. And they would come into the weigh-in, and they would be bringing these fish in. They would weigh their 5 fish and score based on their weight. Well, we've changed the dynamic greatly because you don't have to know where a school of 5 and 6 pounders are, or 6 and 7 pounders, or 3 and 4 pounders. 1 pound is all it takes to score. So if you're one of these anglers that are confident on catching, 25 pounders, go for it. But if you're not confident of that, you can come into this tournament with your net rig or your spinnerbait or your frog or whatever the case may be, go down the shoreline, ripping your stick bait or whatever the case may be, catch 50 1-pounders, and guess what? You've done the same thing you did. So instead of somebody sitting there going, okay, well, that guy knows all the big fish spots in the lake, who cares? It doesn't matter. Because quite frankly, all you got to do is go find small fish.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jay. Well, okay. Well, another added advantage of that is we structure our tournaments early in the season, okay? So people are fishing Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, they're fishing Tennessee, Kentucky, all of these periods where there could be pre-spawn spawning fish going on. We don't want to dislocate those spawning females. If you do catch one of those Goliaths, it comes in the boat, it gets weighed, it goes right back in the water, she swims right back to where she was, and you've upset her day. But you have not upset the spawning ritual. So that 250,000 eggs that bass is carrying, guess what? They're still going back. They're not being drugged halfway down a 60-mile reservoir. Huge difference.
I agree with you there. I completely agree with you there. Also, what I like about your format is 30 competitors a day.
Yes.
That instead of, man, I'm not going to pick on any one trail, but there are trails out there that have over 300 boats.
Oh, yeah. Without You're 100% right, Jay, without question. There's a circuit out there that had a limit, then they upped the limit, then they upped the limit again, and those people who entered that tournament with a certain number thought, okay, I have a shot at this, but then all of a sudden the math changes because that field got huge, okay? So your odds change dramatically. Let's think about this for a second. How many anglers out there? We just talked about the big fish. We just talked about how some of these guys fish day in and day out, and they know where those big fish schools are, and they do quite well in those tournaments. We're talking about somebody that doesn't have to know that. Well, another thing is, quite frankly, if you want to be honest about it, when you're out there fishing, and let's say, for instance, are
you looking for a name?
Yeah. Sally. Okay, what did Sally do? All righty. So all that being said, that fish gets put back in the water and everybody goes away happier. Now, let's take a look at our tournament. 30 boats on the water maximum each day. That's maximum with a full field, 30 max. So you never fish against more than 30 boats in an event. Even on Top Gun Day, you only fish against 29 other teams on a full tournament. So you never will see 300 boats, 200 boats, 100 boats. You never will see it. They're all going to be competing, but you won't see them.
And this is why we close registration 17 days prior to an event start date. A lot of people like to pay at the launch site. We can't do that for a couple reasons. One is we built this for the working person, for the family person, or for the person who just has a busy life, okay, like we all do. So doing it 17 days prior, what happens is then we know how many are in, we divide that up by the amount of days, and then we do a live draw and we say, Tom and Sue are going to fish on day 1, and you get to see that. So it's completely fair. We just draw out of a hat. You know what day you're going to fish. Then you can tell your employer or make whatever plans you need to say, I need to fish Tuesday, because you're only fishing one qualifying day. And then top weights from each day go to Top Gun, where you start at 0. So only those that qualify will fish that last day of that event. Each event is an individual event, meaning every state it's just one event. You don't have to sign up for 3 or required to fish many. Just fish whichever lake you like. Or you can fish them all. We'd love that. But
yeah, we'd love you to fish them all. But the truth of the matter is, registration is closing on most events 17 days prior to the event itself. And like Casey said, there are so many moving parts in our tournaments that we cannot justify having somebody walk up on tournament morning and handing us cash. We can't do it because we can't put officials in the boat. And officials are a big part of what we're doing.
And people love the in-boat official piece of it because they know this is going to be the fairest tournament possible, because they have somebody monitoring the rule. And every day that in-boat official is going to be with a different team and making sure that, also doing the scoring and the weighing and all that kind of stuff, but they're also making sure that they're following the rules, which is huge.
Yes, that's huge.
Confident, that somebody's watching and making sure. And
we've got a number, Jay, over the last, we've been campaigning this basically since probably August last year, September probably. And we have had so many people literally will say to us, well, I think I'm going to sit back and see how many people get in. That's not the attitude. It isn't, because if you want this style of tournament to come into your water, if you want to fish against that small field, if you want to fish for $40,000 on a full field for Top Gun, if you want to do these kind of things, folks, you can't do it by sitting on the fence. Let's analyze for a second what it takes us to do this. For us to leave out of Minnesota and travel to Georgia, first event, over 1,000-mile pull in a truck, pulling a 24-foot trailer that gets 9 miles to the gallon at $5 a gallon. Do the math. Now, that being said, we got to put insurance on everybody for the tournament, or for the tournament operation. We have to pay for tournament
website.
Scales. Well, and some people require registration with the state, so we have to pay that. We have to pay lodging. We have to pay staff. We have to pay in-boat officials. There are so many moving parts to have this kind of tournament.
We love every piece of it.
Yeah, we do. We're not complaining. We're just saying you can't sit on the fence.
Right.
You have to grab your partner, significant other, next door neighbor, janitor at the school. I don't care who, but get them in the boat with you and go fishing. And in addition to that, we've had people ask us outright, Bob, can anybody fish this tournament alone? Yes, you can. You want to fish this tournament alone, you're welcome to. It does not change the entry fee. It does not change anything in the dynamics of how we weigh your fish. They're all still weighed the same way. But yes, you can enter as an individual.
I look at it like this. It's an interesting format, and people like it. I got a lot of response the first time we talked about this on this show. If you like the format, then support it. And, one of the basic economic theories is dollar votes. If people come and fish your tournament, you're going to have more tournaments like it. If nobody uses it, the whole concept is going to go away. And this is an idea that's come of time. The time for this idea, the time for this format is now.
And people are like, oh, we just heard about it. And it's like, we're doing the best we can to get this information out to everybody as soon as we can.
Which brings up another thing we want to talk about real quick, if you don't mind. We've got a couple of different things in place. Let me go to here. I want to go to here because this is our jobs page. Okay, in here we say we are hiring in-boat officials, and we spell it out. In here, we say that we have an ambassador program. These are the ambassadors that are local to the areas where we're holding our tournaments statewide. And these guys are well informed of what's going on. They go to monthly meetings with us, Zoom meetings, and they're much apprised on what's happening. And then now we have something even newer. We have what's called press agents. Press agents are the people who do, well, let's face it, they do the drum beating. They're the ones out there with the social media. They're the ones out there hitting their groups or helping us. If I go on, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of groups on different variable platforms that we work on. But if we campaign those things, guess what? Facebook bounces us. They drop us right off. They close you off.
I've been bounced.
Yeah, you'll be 2-3 weeks before you can get back on. So creating this network of press agents and ambassadors and then internal people working on it, we will get the word out. Printed word, and I've had people say, well, buy some print ads and stuff. Well, we've looked into it. Hey, think about this for a second. This tournament can't afford a $2,000 ad page in a newspaper or in a local trade that might only be seen by a few people. I would rather put that time and energy in building the force that we've got with our press agents and our ambassadors and our in-house people. It's just that simple. The math isn't there. This is an expensive circuit to run. We're doing it. We are invested in this. We're invested in the anglers that we go to. And we want these people to understand that we're in this for the long haul. So if they'll jump off that fence, get in bed with us, and go to work with us, we'll have some fun.
That sounds great, Bob. That sounds great. Yeah, I think you're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
The internet influencers.
Exactly.
Social media influencers.
I met somebody on TikTok the other day, gave us a shout out on their page. I talked to this gentleman, this angler, for 45 minutes on the phone afterwards, learning TikTok and the ins and outs. He's now wanting to be an ambassador or a press agent. He's sharing our stuff. The love and support that we have from anglers. I love the fishing industry and all these amazing folks. And even somebody who's like, this is questionable. After they see everybody's comments, they're like, I'm going to fish this. It's like they just don't maybe read it fully and understand how awesome it is, In
addition to all that, Jay, we've got sponsors that are stepping up that are helping us kind of cover some of these overheads that are out there. Razor Rods just stepped up. Bryant and Todd from Razor Rods came forth to us at the Milwaukee show, and we sat down, and they are now a major sponsor of what we're doing. It's huge. I mean, it's huge. Grim Reaper Lures, Grant Rods. These are people who are supporting what we're doing, and that's the name of the game because, quite frankly, we can't do it without support.
And we support them because they're just as amazing.
Yeah.
They have amazing. I mean, seriously.
I would agree with you with Grant and Razor Rods. Those are second to none. Made here in the United States,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
by one of our very, very good friends.
And if you look at our show trailer, our show trailer is fully digital. So what does that mean to you? What does that mean to somebody out there that may be watching this presentation, listening to what we have to say? Well, this is what it means to you. If you're a local business, if you're a small business, tackle shop, a marina on the water that we're fishing, whatever the case may be, man, I'm telling you, for a couple $100, you're on that trailer during that tournament. It's not a huge commitment. But let's talk about that. If there's 20 of those people come forward, guess what? We made our gas money. That's the type of thing we're doing. Yeah, I can build the digitals, we can put them on the screen, and we make sure that everybody at our tournament and in the streaming afterwards knows that you supported what we're doing. So if you're a business, a contractor, a house builder, a realtor, a marina, anything of that nature, a tackle store, even a brand, let's say you're a lure manufacturer. Look what Ledgehead Lures came out last year at Watts Bar Tournament. Tim Saylor walked up and said, guys, here, I really like what you're doing. Here's some support. And he threw a check at us. This is what we're looking for. Our trailer allows us to adapt and do that. We can change things out in a heartbeat. We don't have to go to a printer and say, well, can you print this and how much does it cost? We've got it set up on our trailer. So on our big show trailer, when we're set up at an event, those big screens that you see there, they are showing who is supporting what we're doing, and they're capturing video that we can capture on the water. That's absolutely gigantic. When you can think about, okay, maybe a couple $100 and you're on for the tournament. I don't know anybody doing it cheaper than that. I really don't. And I've been at this game for a long, long time. A long time.
When he told me he wanted to put 7 TVs on a trailer, I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
I'm like, you're crazy, and I should know by now. He's probably going to be right.
Yeah, she crashed and burned.
I'm like, it's beautiful. Putting those TVs up every day, but
they're awesome. At Watts Bar, when we set the trailer up, because remember, it's dark in the morning when the boats come in. And when we set the trailer up, you should have heard the anglers get out of their trucks and boats and go, oh, my God, look at this. This is fabulous. This is beautiful.
I've never seen anything like it. And then the national anthem.
Yeah, and we do a prayer and a national anthem, which is typical of a tournament. Yes. But because we can do ours on the big screen, it's a different experience. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
And I would like to add, we don't have a blast off. When people said it was a very relaxed tournament when they came in, they were released, and after the national anthem, and then they could go to their spot. They have almost an hour to get to their fishing location, which is also good for lake owners because they don't have this blast off and people going crazy on the lake, and we're all about safety. So, and the in-boat official is safer too. So they get out, they go to their spot, the in-boat official counts down and tells them lines in, and then at the end of the tournament, they say lines out. Now you have that hour to get back. So
let's go over that again. That was a significant point right there. Talk about the beginning of the day, each day during the tournament.
Go ahead, Case.
So after the check-in point, so they drive in one at a time. We do a boat check, make sure we have everything we need, and align them with their in-boat official. Okay, and then at that point, they park, they come back, and we do the national anthem and the prayer, which is beautiful, by the way, when you do that. I didn't know that you were a pastor as well. But anyways, then they're released to go to their fishing location. It's not a stressful situation. They get in one at a time. They go and drive to their spot, and the in-boat official counts down and says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lines in. They start fishing, let's just say 7 a.m. Then they have 8 hours to fish, and then the in-boat official says lines out, at which point then they have about an hour to get back. So there's no blast up. They're not all just hoarding around waiting to just go. They just go to their spot.
Bob, I bet you remember back in the 80s when they, shotgun starts. Shotgun starts on the Illinois River at one time were, I almost swore there.
Dangerous.
300 feet wide Illinois River, and there's barges on both sides, and those big waves just go back and forth for 30 minutes. If you got a little boat, you just hang on, man. That's why I think this is another step ahead.
I love the video footage when I'm watching tournaments on television and they're all waiting to go. There is that piece of it, but it's not safe.
Those nowadays are eased off, though. They're not a gun start.
Oh,
they have a number, and they go out in rotation, and they're eased off.
Okay.
At a certain point, they're boats are at full throttle or whatever they need to be, and they're gone.
After you go by the official and you get your boat board, then it's pure adrenaline. But
Yeah.
But also, you still have a blast off per se. Everybody has to be there for the national anthem.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just it's kick back, it's relaxed, and just go to your spot.
Yeah, it's an organized morning. It's not unorganized. It's very organized. We roll everybody up in front of the trailer. Casey's handing out the kits to the officials. Officials get assigned to the boats, and away they go down to the landing. They get their gear spread out or whatever they're going to do. They all sit down there and ratchet jaw until whatever they want to do. They get the boats in the water, and away they go. It's very organized.
Yeah, and it's a random draw. So we random draw the in-boat official too. So your random draw for the day you fish. Then we random draw your in-boat official each day, and then you get to pick from the scales and tell us what number you drew. So we're not handing it to you.
Right.
You get to pick the scale. We take questionable element out of it that we could possibly think of.
Yeah, every team boat owner gets to walk up and pick up the scale out of the box that he or she wants.
That's awesome. It's like there's not 4 flights to this,
No.
You show up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, 30 boats on the water each day. 30 boats. That's it. That's all we have to manage. 30 boats each day, which means we can really be efficient in what we're doing. And we are, quite frankly, we are. On our trophies, Oh my goodness, go get a trophy.
Okay, I'll go get one.
She's gonna go
Yeah,
get
please
a trophy.
do. Please do. Let's show that.
Yeah, I'm going to show you what we're talking about. You know, people say, well, you know, here we operate literally on about 9%. You show me a company on this planet that operates on 9%. Real money, 9%. That's what we operate on because we put the money back into the event. We put the money back into the tournament fishermen. We put the money back into those who are paying to come fish. That's a key element for us. I'm going to show you the trophies.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, these are our trophies. Now, these are made by a gentleman down in Florida.
Oh my goodness! Look at that,
Let's
folks.
see if I can get this back
Let me do it.
so you can see it.
Look at that, folks.
This is a Ross Myers original. This is a Ross Myers original, and these trophies are beautiful. When our fishermen saw these trophies, they went, "Oh my goodness!"
And each first place person gets one. So the
Yeah.
each teammate gets one. And then Big Bass gets one with just the one fish.
I'm going to go to a wide shot so these folks can see this because it's here. Here, Casey's going to hold it for you. This is the trophy that we're talking about seeing.
Am I in there? Well, I'm not on his screen. I'm making sure I'm in his
No,
screen.
watch that one.
Oh, okay.
See, now you can see the trophy.
Go down a little bit.
Okay.
There it is.
I'll let her control it. Okay. The bottom line
Let
is
me be Vanna.
the bottom line is they're big and beautiful. Okay. They're
They're
very,
heavy.
very nice trophies. And we're proud of our trophies. We didn't skimp. We didn't skip one bit.
Look at
Not
that.
one bit.
I
Ross
don't
Myers,
mind this one on my mantle.
no. Ross Myers down in Florida is building our trophies for us, and he does a fantastic job at it. Our plaques have got the three-dimensional fish on it. They're not a engraved little bronze or brass plated plaque. They're beautiful. Frankly they're gorgeous.
Here's the Big Bass one.
She's bringing out the big bass, folks.
Well, and the Big Bass,
Okay.
what's cool about this is, it's any day of the tournament. Throughout the whole tournament, it's just the one person that gets.
Yeah.
There it is.
Right there. There you go.
Look how pretty that is.
Yep, right there. Now, here's the thing, like Casey started to say, here's the thing to remember with our Big Bass Trophy. Because our tournament is set up not necessarily to focus on big bass, we still want to reward those who catch big bass. So that being said, our big bass can be caught on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, or Top Gun. Whatever the biggest fish of the event is, will get the Big Bass Trophy and money. And it's included in your entry fee.
And second and third place get these beautiful plaques with like a raised.
They're three-dimensional.
Yeah, they're three-dimensional. They're
gorgeous.
beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Yeah.
Did you want to mention what's going to happen next year? What we're going to bring? The multi-species.
Oh, yeah. I guess this is newsflash, isn't it?
Uh-oh. You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
All righty. Yeah, you're hearing it first. All righty. Next year, Team Fishing Circuit will be bringing out a muskie tournament run on the platform that we're talking about right now. So muskie fishermen, get ready. It's not going to be a low budget deal. It's going to be a big budget deal, and there's going to be huge, huge money on the line.
Have you decided where it's going to be?
Come to me and say, why aren't you doing walleye tournaments? Why? You're from Minnesota. You're down there mixing it up with all the southern guys, and I know you got bass background. We know that. But how about walleye? Well, guess what? We're scheduling right now to run a team walleye tournament, big dollar team walleye tournament on Lake Vermilion in Minnesota in 23. So we're moving forward with multi-species, multi-platform. That's where we see it.
Where have you decided where the muskie tournament's going to take place?
Yeah, Vermilion.
Oh, Vermilion. Okay, I thought you said walleyes on Vermilion.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
Both are
Both.
beyond Vermilion.
That'll take
Vermilion
listening.
is it's a reservoir, but it acts like a shield lake, Canadian Shield. It's loaded with big fish. There's a lot of big fish in it, and there's a huge amount of people that know the lake. So participation should be good. I called a friend of mine up there, Denny Vandelendy, who guides on the lake for walleyes. And I said, Denny, question. He said, what's that? I says, give me a read on the walleye fishing in Vermilion. I says, I fish muskies up there. I don't campaign walleyes. Everybody knows that. He says, Bob, you bring one of your tournaments here, and they're going to catch walleye like you have never seen in your life. That's how good the population is. Big in numbers.
Interesting. Everybody and their brother takes walleye tournaments to Lake Erie. Now Bob's going to take one to Lake Vermilion.
Yeah, we're going to take one to Vermilion. Our tournaments this year, just so people know, they're on our website. I will try to get a page up here for you right now. No, I'm not going to do it that way. You can go on our website, teamfishingcircuit.com. We have Georgia. Georgia's coming up soon. We have Alabama followed. We have Mississippi. Then yeah, that's right, Mississippi. And it's going to be up on Pickwick. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, Pickwick, yeah.
When
you were saying Mississippi, I thought Ross Barnett, but yeah. Man, the very top of Mississippi, yeah.
Yeah. And then we go from there.
Okay, so
on Alabama.
Okay,
let me back up.
Okay, Casey wants to back up here. So
Georgia, Lake Lanier,
okay.
April 11th through the 15th, 120 boat field. Alabama, Lake Gunnersville, 150.
Ooh.
April 18th through the 23rd. Mississippi is going to be Pickwick, 150 boats, April 25th through the 30th. And remember, you're only fishing one of those days. It's the last day is the championship day. Tennessee, Watts Bar. We're coming back to Watts Bar. Can't wait. 150 boats, May 2nd through the 7th. Kentucky, Lake Cumberland, 150 boats, May 9th through the 14th. Then we come home to Minnesota, Pelican Lake, 90 boat field.
Now, Pelican Lake had a tournament that's run on the format that we're running last year. A single angler caught 220 pounds in one day.
That was
120 pounds?
220 pounds. It's a bass factory, folks. If you've ever thought about fishing a tournament where everybody's got a chance,
this one,
Pelican Lake, Minnesota is where you need to be.
Now, Bob, was that largemouth or smallmouth bass they came
that's primarily largemouth. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's June 22nd through the 25th. That's a 90 boat field. So that's get in if you're going to get in on that one. We got registrations coming in already, you guys. Michigan, Lake St. Clair, United.
Ooh, nice.
Only.
Yeah, United States only.
120 boat field, July 11th through the 15th. I'm getting tired just saying this list.
Then we go to Sandusky in Ohio, where it's going to be an awesome tournament. We had people at the Milwaukee Sports Show talking to us about the turnout we should see at Sandusky is going to be pretty good. And then from there we go to Monroe, Indiana. Amazing number of bass fishermen in Indiana, and we're going to have a ball. Monroe is
July 25th through the 30th.
What lake is that?
I'm sorry?
What lake is that in Indiana?
Lake Monroe.
Whoa, okay.
Yep, Lake Monroe in Indiana. Then we go to the Fox Chain of Lakes in Illinois.
There you go.
Where the folks at Muskie Tails came to us and said, would you please allow us to host your tournament? And we said, absolutely. They're great people on a resource that's going to blow people's mind.
The home waters of Violet Talley. Very, very good friend of mine.
Exactly.
Yes. She's already in.
I'm
sorry. We're not supposed to say nothing like that. But anyway, that being said, we're going to Lake Winnebago after that for the Wisconsin tournament. And that'll be August 18th through the 21st. And again, we're going to fish the whole system. The entire river system, the lakes, it's the variety of fishing on that system will blow you away. Fishing's been there, Bassmaster's been there. I think everybody's been there. So guess what? Team Fishing Circuit's going there.
I have fished both walleye and bass tournaments on that body of water. Yes.
Yeah.
And our website is going crazy. I'm sorry, every day. It's nuts. We're seeing people are interested. People are checking us out. So that's exciting.
Yeah, just follow over to www.teamfishingcircuit.com. And while you're there, take a look at everything that we've got. Take a look at the entry forms, the applications. Take a look at everything that we've put. Casey has spent so much time building this site, folks. She's got the registration forms up. She's got all the circuit information, so you can go through it. Once you're registered, you know what you're doing. On drop-down menus, the lakes pop up. There's no big secret. She's explained everything on all the pages that you need to know. It's all there. Every question you need to answer is there. Our team, our job team is there with our in-boat officials, with our ambassadors, with our press agents. And we would be in big trouble if we didn't tell our sponsors that they're there, because sponsors are what make it happen. And then, of course, we talked about this briefly. That's our LiveWell app. Guys, I'm telling you, Scott Bonema has come up with an animal here that just flat does the job, just does it. And we're working with their programmers people to come out with even more elements that that app is going to do for us. So we're excited about everything we're doing. Oh, we are going to ask this for fishermen who are coming. Bring your stick with your camera on it. We're going to ask that our fishermen position those cameras on the boats if they have them. Please, please, please. We tried to work out a deal with Yellow Stick. We just couldn't get it done. So that being said, we're going to ask that our anglers bring your stick in the back, put your camera on it, put a chip in it. At the end of the day, we'll download the chip and everybody will go away having a good time. And we'll have video that we can help build the programming out of it, because we're going to stream the shows when we're done. We're not going to stream live, obviously, because different people fish every day, and that would be an injustice to the people who fished on the first day. So all that being said, if you have your boat set up with a stick and a camera, please bring it to the tournament. Please put it on the boat, and I think we'll probably go buy chips.
And I want to add something. In-boat officials. So for every state that we just read off, we need in-boat officials to apply, and we pay you. If it's a 6-day tournament, we pay you $500. If it's a 5-day tournament, you get paid $400. We also need, so for every state, you can come and be an in-boat official for. You just apply online. But we are also looking for groups, nonprofit organizations, fishing groups, schools, veterans, what have you, that they can apply as a group and supply the in-boat officials, and then we pay them directly and help their organization out. So,
and we want to let everybody know that phone number is 952-999-0784. That's 952-999-0784. Give us a call if you have any questions. We're live right now with Jay. If you guys are watching or what have you, don't be afraid to ring that phone. It's laying in front of us. We're happy to handle some of these calls. We want people to better understand a totally new and unique tournament circuit. Like Jay said, this is not like anything else. It's totally different and built for the working man.
It really is. It really is. I'm very, 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 very excited about this. You know, if you guys are wondering who is Bob Mehsikomer, he has been a fixture in the fishing industry for many, many years. I grew up watching Simply Fishing when he would fish for giant muskies. You know, you would actually sit there, and I actually sat there and watched Bob have a muskie up to close to the boat, and he lost it. And he turned around. He didn't pull a Mike Iaconelli where he started throwing the rods and screaming and, you know, acting like, you know, his head's gonna explode. He just said, you know what, guys, that was one of the biggest muskies I've ever had hooked. I still remember that.
Yeah, one that's historic is a fish. I was fishing with the folks from Seavers Company. We were working a sunglass deal with them, and I took Dean Seavers out. It was blowing out of the northeast on Lake of the Woods, rolling literally 5 foot. Oh, and geez. I got down to an area that we wanted to fish, an island cluster, and Dean was really beat up from getting down there. I mean, he wasn't hurt, but he was a senior gentleman at that time, and he didn't. He said, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." And then when we were into it, it's kind of like, "Are we doing this?" So anyway, that being said, we got in there, and I hit a fish on a heron spinnerbait that I lose at the side of the boat. By all intents and purposes, might have broken the world record. We had a notable muskie fisherman in the Twin City area come into our studio one day when we had the on-air lights on, which means you don't enter. And he come pounding in there, and just as he did, this thing is on our big broadcast monitors in the studio, and he said, "Oh my God, what is that?" And I said, "That's a big fish. You're not supposed to be in this room right now. You need to step away." "No, how big is it?" I said, "It's pretty big." When I lost that fish 10 inches off the rod tip, all I did was look at the camera and say, "I got nothing to say."
I love that video. That video has had a lot of views.
I got nothing to say. I didn't, man. I had nothing to say.
Well, you've got a lot to say for all that you've caught. Haven't you caught thousands of them?
Yeah, I've got thousands of muskies, and I've got 119 over 50. But people don't realize my roots are in bass fishing. I was fishing a hydrosport trail. I was fishing all kinds of trails, fishing way, way back when the Great Plains bass tournaments were going on. And unfortunately, we lost that gentleman who ran those tournaments to an early death, and I think he was onto something too. He ran a great tournament circuit.
Something that you don't mention much, and I want to mention because I think this is so cool, because everywhere you see CPR, catch, photo, release. Will you tell that story?
Yeah, when we were publishing our magazine, Simply Fishing magazine, back in the mid 80s, late 80s, I don't 85, 6, 7, somewhere in there. we came up with the slogan practice CPR, catch, photo, and release. And we copyrighted that slogan back then. And the full slogan for us was practice CPR, catch, photo, and release. The future of fishing depends on it. And I even had provinces in Canada get a hold of us and ask for permission if they could spin off that. And I've given permission to muskie clubs and what have you around the country to use that slogan, but it was copyrighted. We don't press the issue, but I did that way back then.
Because it's a great message to have out
I
there.
was about to say, I've seen that show up in many other magazines too.
Yeah,
I'm not naming any names.
What's funny about my history is when I first started, like I said, with a bass background, I reached out to the first sponsor that we reached out to. We said, we'd like to come down and talk to you about doing a TV show. Well, coming from Minnesota, they said, yeah, absolutely, come see us. So we drove, went down there, laid out our entire platform on what we were going to do in terms of our target fish, how we were going to do it, so on and so forth. And two of the principals in that meeting stood up and walked away. They said they had things to do, leaving just one. And I go, what's going on? Well, let me step out. So he stepped out. He came back in. He says, we have some bad news. If you would have come down here and said, you're doing bass, we would be all over you. But Bob, you say you're going to do muskie shows? Nobody can do muskie shows, not even Al Linder. And I said, listen, Al Linder's passion is in walleye and smallmouth. Mine isn't. Mine's in muskie fishing and bass fishing. If you think about the strategies of bass fishing and apply bigger lure, bigger everything to the muskie, you are going to be a muskie fisherman. It's that simple. And they said, well, we wish you the best of luck, but I mean, we give you 90 days. Well, our very first show, Matt Dahl fished with me on our very first show, and we put 2 50s in the boat on our very first show and never looked back.
Yeah, see ya.
Don't tell Bob Mehsikomer he can't do something, people.
No.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We starved for 8 years trying to get sponsors, but after that, it was a cakewalk.
It's a process, isn't it?
It is. It's a networking process, which is what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the need for networking among bass clubs, bass groups, bass fishermen, individuals. We're talking about high school, college. You know, we haven't even mentioned that. Our in-boat official program was actually designed to bring on college and high school people so they could be in-boat officials. Whereas on a full event, we honor them with $15,000 to that institution if they brought the judges we needed. So, I mean, there's so many different things going on at Team Fishing Circuit. You can't fit them all in a thumbnail. You just can't do it. Simple as that.
Exactly. That's why I was more than happy to welcome you to my platform here, so we can get the word out to more people.
Oh, we are honored. Trust me, we are honored. It's not easy.
Right.
We had just today alone, we had somebody reach out to us and said, you know, guys, the problem you've got are clicks. There's clicks in all these lakes. There's clicks. Well, guys, you know, enjoy your clicks. They're fun. We were part of clicks growing up too.
Absolutely.
But the serious thing is get on board. Support what we're doing. Jump in.
Something new.
Yeah. Have some fun.
Exciting and new.
Don't let her sing.
I'll stop there.
Don't let her sing. Don't. But we cannot tell you how much we appreciate, Jay, you bringing us on and letting us do this. This is a half-hour commercial, okay? Actually, it's a 43-minute commercial. But the bottom line is people need to know, because unfortunately, our days are busy. They're packed with so many things, and we don't read. And I
also want to plug Mr. J Angel here for a second,
yes.
Because, you know, people will be on Facebook and they'll be like, I want to learn more. Where can I learn more? And it's like, you know, I think Jay Angel does an excellent job on his YouTube page, Let's Talk Fishing.
Yes.
Videos, right?
Let's Talk Fishing video, correct.
Yeah. And you talk to all different people in the industry, really educating people. So thank you for that, because I've learned a lot from watching those.
Yeah, we really do appreciate it, and we wish you all the best. You and I have gone back for a ways. We're not new friends. We're old-time friends, and I appreciate it.
You know how it is. You know, you work night after night after night, and sometimes you're like, is anybody actually watching this stuff?
They do after the fact. That's the key.
Yeah.
One thing that's about social media is this stuff lingers out there for a long time. Unfortunately, for those entering our tournaments, folks, you don't have a long time. These deadlines to get in are coming up fast. So
our first one is this Friday.
Yeah, get to teamfishingcircuit.com. Look at those deadlines. Get your checks in. Casey's got some special notes for people when you go there, and let's have some fun. Jay, again, we appreciate everything you've done.
Well, thank you. Because, man, I mean, I grew up watching Bob, and you know, the old icons, you know, I think about, you know, geez, Babe Winkleman, Al Linder, Bob Mehsikomer.
Well, we appreciate that.
Other ones like Roland Martin and, you know, geez, Virgil Ward.
Oh, man. Oh, absolutely.
And you can still catch Bob's shows on YouTube.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love watching them.
We have lots of programming on YouTube as well. Simply Fishing TV on YouTube or my name. It'll get you there.
You can get to the link too on our website. Under streaming, it's under there. Under media, it's there too. So.
And that's Team Fishing Circuit, guys. It's crawling on the bottom of the screen right there. Well, you two, do you have any shout outs you'd like to do?
No, we
Razor Rods.
Yeah, well, we've done that. We don't want to over commercialize it, but Razor Rods has signed on as a major sponsor, and that's a huge deal. We might have more news coming up after some meetings that are coming up here very quickly, but not until then.
I'd like to thank you, Bob. You know, Brian Stickles, certainly.
They're the nicest.
He's such a good guy, and I'm glad that an old master like Bob Mehsikomer is helping him out.
Yeah.
It's a mutual. They're helping. Yeah, it's going both ways.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They were the nicest guys.
Yeah, it's going both ways.
But I like to see an old master working with a guy like him who's going to show, who knows the industry and knows the market, you know, and knows what a good fishing rod is and what it isn't.
Yeah,
you can really help him a lot, man. I know Jim Grant actually makes the rods, and man, that doesn't get any better than Jim Grant. I'll tell you that much.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And just a great guy, great person, great for the industry, just like you are, Bob. Great for the industry, great person. I'm glad we have people like you and Jim Grant in the industry.
Thank you very much. Let's hand out some trophies this year, folks.
Yes, thank you. And I'd like to thank you, too, for taking time out of your extremely busy schedules. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. Again, it's my extreme pleasure to announce I had Bob and Casey Mehsikomer on talking about this Team Fishing Circuit.
All righty. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, guys, man, let's go out there and catch some fish this weekend.
I agree. Bye-bye.